One day, my mom met with a small accident, and I rushed her to the hospital where I know one ortho personally. But before meeting the ortho, the duty doctor stopped me and started inspecting my mom and asked a question to my mom: "Where do you feel pain?" My mom replied, pointing her thigh, and they told me to take X-ray in that location. And I, as instructed, I took her to the X-ray room and I completed the formalities. As we saw the X-ray, we found nothing abnormal, and the doctor told me that it must be a muscle pain. I'll give you some tablets and ointment, that will be okay. But I was not convinced with the answer and the way they treated my mom. So I rushed to the spot where I know the ortho doctor was sitting, and I informed all these matters, and I brought him to the place where my mom was lying. The ortho doctor also asked her the same question: "Where do you feel pain?" My mom again replied the same answer, pointing her thigh. But he was looking and inspecting my mom's leg position. Usually, when we lie on the floor, our legs will be like this. But one of my mom's leg is completely flat compared to the other leg. Then he told me, the ortho doctor told me to take X-ray between hip and the right leg. And as he instructed, I did the same formality again. And when we looked at the X-ray, we found a minor fracture between hip and the right leg, the joint portion. This is why exactly we need a domain knowledge to identify the problem exactly where others miss. And I understood that day how important it is, the domain specific knowledge for any case. But it is not the case always, because some locations the domain knowledge might be very helpful, but in some other location we not only require the domain knowledge, but also we require a diverse knowledge also. What I mean diverse knowledge means, say for example, if it is a smart farming, we should know what is farming, and we should know some engineering to support smart farming, and also we need to know some biological concept, especially where there is creation and innovations are involved. In that location we require diverse knowledge also. One best example I can give you from the history: one scientist and his dog went into a forest for a morning walk, and when he came back, he noticed that birds from plants that stuck to the dog's body. And what we usually do, we usually just brush it off. But this scientist inspected under the microscope and found that there are many tiny hooks. They formed a loop kind of latch. And from there, he got an inspiration and he invented a Velcro tape, which we usually use on shoes and bags. See, this invention is inspired from some biological insights, and that is why people say that whenever the creations and innovations involved, we do not want or do not require only a single knowledge. We need to have a diverse knowledge whenever we have creations and innovations are involved, like the Velcro tape or smart farming. So diverse knowledge is nothing about connecting different perspectives and creating something new and useful. To be more successful, combining these two, domain knowledge as well as the diverse knowledge, it gives you a T-shaped format. T means we have a horizontal as well as vertical line. Horizontal line that tells us we need to have a diverse knowledge, and the vertical line that tells we need to have a deep understanding in the specific knowledge. When we combining these two, that creates a T-shaped person, which means having both understanding of your domain knowledge as well as we have the diverse knowledge, that will make us more successful.